Uh, Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mac on the Move. One of the things I like to do and everything, and I like to talk about is school community that I'm part of and everything. But I've watched videos for my fellow classmates and everything, and I've watched a few this past couple of days and everything. But one caught my eye this morning. It's a video by our school community classmate Holly Hawks. She's a she's talking about her video talks about people in America, women in general. She's watched a show. Don't know what the name of it is. I think it's called Whatever or something like that. Where you got panels of guys on one side, girls on another, and just talking about it. And one of the things that comes up and stuff is where the young ladies are talking about how they're suppressed, and that Save America Act is bad for the country because they'll lose their voting rights. You know, people who are listen and don't verify what they're listening to. I have one thing that I listen to everybody. I have my own opinion. I make my own opinion. But the one number one rule I have is that whatever I hear, it's called trust and verify. You don't, you can take people's word for it, but you're gonna find that's gonna bite you in the butt. So you go back and you look at things and everything. I'm up here in North Pole, Alaska, and we have our voting things and everything. And one of our senators up here is actually has voted against the Save America Act. And I did some research, and I was wondering why. And the only conclusion I came up with was these people are just out there spewing garbage, um, talking about how people are going to be suppressed, how people are going to be disenfranchised. I don't know about you, but everywhere that I go, I have to have an ID for everything. I have to have an ID to get on an airplane. I have to have an ID to buy alcohol. Hell, I'm 60 years old. Okay, and if you can't tell by my looks and everything how old I am, then you're pretty ignorant. But our laws and everything, and we talk about a country of law and order, law-abiding citizens. People who are spewing garbage out there, they don't want to be law-abiding citizens. They want to destroy this country. Again, with the senator up here, we have what we call uh, ranked choice voting, and that started a few years back and everything. It's been on the polls to repeal, and we're fighting against it. And the thing is that people don't understand about ranked choice voting is that when they put it out there and everything, um, people didn't know how to use it. And what it is everything, instead of one-on-one ballot or one-on-one vote, um, people have the opportunity to pick and choose. Okay, so I want this candidate here first. This is where my vote is. But if this individual doesn't make it, then your vote's going to roll down to a secondary. Okay, and if you put your second choice on, even if they're within, you know, you may not get the one that you want. So, I mean, it's just better with the ranked choice voting just go in and vote for one person because then your vote doesn't go to anybody else. Okay, whether they win or lose. But this ranked choice voting is just gives too much leeway. It's more likely, the reason why Lisa Murkowski doesn't vote for it, and she could say, oppressing women's rights or disenfranchising people who live out in our rural communities. Yeah, no. This other thing that, some of the stuff that they spew and everything. And these are some of the points that are out there, if you do your research and all, but the pros and cons. And there really is no cons. They keep bringing everything back to it's racist or racism or, suppression of women's rights or, disenfranchising our native partners within our communities and everything. People don't know how to use computers or people don't know how to, get their ID or don't know how to drive. And if you sit there and you look at everything going on in this country, you can look, you can see, and there's more people out there that have licenses. They drive it from place to place. They know where the DMV is. You know, stop treating people like they're stupid. Something we aren't is stupid. So I really think that these are all you know garbage topics that they want to spew and everything. So please, just take the time, do your research, and again, we talk about different things here on Mac on the Move. That's my channel, and these are some of the points and everything that I like to talk about. Another point and another topic and everything. I know Kevin 24/7 brings stuff up and everything. I haven't gotten to his level yet. I'm just learning. I'm trying to build my community and all, but I have. I'm a retired Air Force and spent 20 years in the service and going place to place, and I've got 9 tours over in the desert. And that time during the desert and everything, waking up to morning prayer, 5:30 in the morning, 5 times a day, you get, interrupted and everything. I don't mind. I was in their country, but now we're back in our country. I don't want to say those people because then people think it's racist. It's not. Okay. But the beliefs of Islam is that, they don't want to assimilate. They refuse to assimilate. It's their way or the highway. Well, you're in our country now. So if you want to stay, assimilate. People will respect you. People just don't need to do what your beliefs are. If I want to eat pork, I'm going to eat pork, whether it's in front of you or behind you or whatnot. So these are just things, Stop trying to discriminate against the American people. This is our country. Come join us. Come be happy. Live your life out to the fullest. That's all I ever ask. But again, I wish our politicians would work for the American people for once. Currently, our government is kind of divided. You got Democrats, you got Republicans, you got independents. I'd look at all views, but currently, the views of the Democrats, or as Donald Trump would say, Democrats, is that they're not fighting for the American people. They're fighting for people who are not law abiding citizens, people who want to destroy this country, people who, just are in it for themselves. That's not what this country is about. This country is, about freedom. We have our liberties that we fight for, liberties that, we've had friends, brothers, sisters, comrades. And you can say comrades, because camaraderie is big in the military. And it's, something that I will always have in the forefront of my mind and should be at the forefront of every American that's in this country doing what they do because it's because of veterans like us, like myself, like people I know, people I hang out with, you know, white, black, whatever, every race, ethnicity, and we are just like brothers and sisters. So if we can do it, you can do it as well. Stop living in the past, live in the future. So if you like what you hear and everything, I'd like you to look up Holly Hawks, you know, on YouTube. She's starting out just like me, and you know, you may like her viewpoints, you may not. You know, you may like my viewpoints, you may not. You know, you might not. Either or, you know. I'd like to have conversations. I want to open everything up. So if you got something you'd like to talk about, you know, send me, you know, comment down in the comments below and everything else. I'll be putting links to the school community down bottom. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Currently, right now, I'm sitting at 16 subscribers. You know, I'm trying to build this community, and I want to have the conversations. So, with that, I will leave you with ending this conversation and hope everybody has taken something from this. So, with that, I'll see you in the next one.